To live on the earth, to survive on the earth, requires a degree of hardness. However, to flourish, to open ourselves to all that life has to offer, it begs of us to become soft and open in a way that seems at odds. When we're trying to survive, it's very difficult to conceive that we could possibly let our hearts be open. But that spiritual path asks us to look at other people and not to judge them, but to have compassion for them. Even more importantly, or equally importantly, to look at ourselves without self-judgment, but with love, with compassion for ourselves. Love is, in some ways, the entirety of the path. But most people, as far as I can tell, and I'm including myself in this as well, that's why I'm talking about it, most people on the spiritual path pursue truth or knowledge or wisdom or freedom, freedom from suffering, freedom from a lot of different things. And while we may begin that path with an open heart, at a certain point, while the path can naturally lead to openness and compassion, it also tends to focus us in a certain way that focuses on mental aspects of awakening and equanimity and peace and the truth and all of these wonderful things. And yet the aspect that we least tend to focus ourselves on is opening the heart. Because the more we go on that spiritual path, the more open we have to be. And in fact, we can't really even be closed. It's almost at odds with the normal way we think of life and the way we think of survival and competition with other people and so on. So what I found is that as we advance on that spiritual path, the need to consciously work with love and with compassion becomes all the more important. But to open the heart, which is that midway point between the mind and the body, it's this central gateway. To open the heart means suddenly we are not only overwhelmed with love for all of the people around us, right? But also all the suffering that's going on around us too. You can't really have one without the other. And I wonder if that's the reason why most people shy away from that heart opening, is because of our own personal pain, which people might call, what do they call that? Shadow work, and just the suffering of the world, which we're coming to call collective trauma. To be open to that field of suffering, it's a lot. But I think that softening the heart and opening the heart reveals a treasure that is far more valuable than any worldly possession or treasure that you might want or covet or have or seek. You know what I'm saying? So while that love is intangible and while it can sometimes feel out of reach, or even we can make fun of it or think, oh, that's lame, or that's like hippie stuff, it's not realistic. It's not practical. But at the same time, it is far, far, far more important than any of those other considerations or any of those other complaints that people might have. Oh, it's just those hippies. We always like to trivialize that which we're not actually capable of embodying ourselves. It's not easy. Okay, loving yourself, loving your neighbor is very difficult. Very, very difficult. But that is truly where in my opinion, is the only thing that is worthwhile in this life, ultimately.